Hey, good morning. All right, it's early. It's let's see my light. See if I get my professional lighting system better over here. This lamp. Yeah, whatever. This is more about the content, not the. I mean, I try to set up a little area here and make it look all right, but I didn't write my notes down here with the intent to make a video from this. I was just trying to write a timeline of how organized stalking started, basically, the history of it. This type of thing that we're in right now, not just regular police surveillance, but this type of like COINTELPRO program that targeted individuals go through. And I know that they go through different targeted individuals have different targeting experiences. Some people have this list of symptoms, this person has this list of symptoms, this person has this list, and they're completely different. They might be because they're run from different private security companies. I'll get into that here in a little bit with the private security companies. But there's a new video out. There's this new video, and I am so compelled by it because it's a gang stalking recruitment video, basically. I'm sure most of you that watch my videos have already seen this other video. There's like 5,000-6,000 views on it, something like that. But it's somebody that goes to one of these meetings. Sorry, I just got out of the shower, brushed my teeth. They go to one of these meetings, they sneak their cell phone in, and they get some video of the orientation video. I guess the video is like 45 minutes long, but they got a few minutes of this video. So the logo up in the top right is a C. It says the Collective, and it's a professionally edited piece, video piece, informational type, news piece, not news piece, I'm sorry, informational video about the pay that a service officer, I think they call them, basically ground workers, somebody that's just a foot soldier out walking around, driving around, following. And then they talked about pay for handlers, up to $140 something an hour. And they talked about this was the biggest thing in the video, and the subtitles that were coming up too. It said they have a $270 billion a year budget. So that's a lot of money, $270 billion a year. So where does that money come from? And how many other companies, private companies, because this is just the Collective, if they exist, if they're real, which I think they are. There's no proof yet, but this video is pretty convincing. And but anyway, so if they have 270 billion, and then you have SIS Security out of Seattle, and they're another private security company. They probably do things completely different from the Collective, or they might work under the Collective. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I know that they are involved in gang stalking. So SIS Security out of Seattle, and then you have Securitas, which is, I believe they're from Sweden. Yeah, European country. They're over that way somewhere. I'm not sure, but they're a private security company, and they have 300,000 employees. So those are just the three that I know of that I think are involved in this. Securitas got involved with me personally, affected my business, and then had the next day had somebody show up in line at the store behind me in a Securitas uniform, all unbuttoned, and just like the guy just threw it on out of his trunk. Never seen or heard of that company before in my life until that happened with my store. And then literally the next day, the guy shows up behind me at the store. So anyway, those big private security companies are getting billions of dollars. So if one of them has a $270 billion, $270 billion a year budget, think of, if anybody tries to tell you from now on, well, there needs to be some proof that the collective exists. Actually, I'll skip to that. So several people that I talk to that are targeted individuals, since this has come up, have, not even since this has come up, before this, have mentioned something about the people say they're from the collective. The collective is displeased. The collective is this or that. We're communicating with some of these people. So on one of my YouTube videos, I was doing a live stream, and it should still be on the live. I need to go back and check that. But somebody with that exact same logo, this is before I saw this recruiting video, somebody with that exact same logo and said the collective was trolling me. They were saying, "We're watching you, Michael. We don't like this," or something like that, or "It's not going to stop. We will find you," or "You're going to jail." There was a bunch of nonsense. So at that time, I just thought, this person's just trying to guide me in the wrong direction. They're trying to make some little fake logo and "Oh, we're the collective," and I even mentioned, "Oh, that's what you're calling yourself now, huh?" And then I blew it off. I just, whatever, another troll, forget it. And then I see this video, and I see that logo in the video, and my heart dropped. I'm thinking, okay, what are the odds of that happening? This person actually interacted with me, have the logo, and then I see this video leaked. Gang stalker recruitment video with that same exact logo. So I look them up. I look up the collective. There's a bazillion things called the collective. So I go into images, look for an image with that logo, and I find an exact match right up at the top. Nothing else all the way down. I searched, I mean, not all the way down. You can't really get to the bottom. But I searched for a while. That was the only thing I found. So I clicked on that, and it took me to a Nashville country music talent agency. They show pictures of the people that they represent. Yeah, and it's a pretty basic website, But I noticed that there kind of seems to be a theme with the talent agencies, talent or booking agencies. This thing has the same logos and the same exact font. Everything is the same. It says the collective. It goes to this talent agency. And I'm repeating myself. So, but there was another talent agency that I had suspicions of doing the same thing, called Affinity Casting, out of Burbank. They're online. Look them up. Affinity Casting, and they talk about how they provide models, actors, actresses for all kinds of different TV, film, whatever, this, that, and the other, and live events. And that caught my attention too, the live events. Well, what are the live events? Are you providing people to be seat fillers at the Oscars? Or are you hiring 10-year contract wives for people to gang stalk them, be their handler, like that type of spectrum, Is that the right word to use? That type of range, from the smallest little thing, seat filler, the towards to this full-on embedded spy mission, you know, it happens. All right. The thing about those crazy stories, I married a spy and the government is after me and all those different things, is you literally have to live through it in order to 100% believe how some of this stuff happens. If you don't go through it and you just listen to somebody telling some story about what they went through or what they're going through or what's happening, some of the stuff these people do is completely bonkers. It's too much money, too much power, too much control, and with no limits, no bounds, minds get warped. Like the normal kind of exciting thing to everyday person like us, somebody that has no limits, no worries of repercussions, no nothing, they are going to do some sick, twisted shit. Not always, but I'm just saying there's the people, the psychopathic narcissists that end up in that position. Yeah. All right, so I was talking about how I was writing down a kind of a timeline of how this whole thing started, and I didn't even really finish my notes. Like I said, I wasn't even planning on making a video with these things, so I hadn't made a video other than like playing the ukulele and driving through the hills over in Phoenix. So I wanted to make a video that has a little something to it. I've been working on this stuff. I've been writing a lot. I've been going to some different meetings. I've been really busy. The hat store has been busy. School, softball games, dog life. Well, there's not much life in between all this. All that I just explained, that's what I do. This, talk to you guys. Research, read. I've never sat down so much in my life. All right, back to the topic at hand here. These are just some notes, and maybe you guys can help me with finishing up my timeline here and the theory of how this whole thing started, how it's still going, and what's behind it, and all this stuff. In a kind of a shorter version. I know it's almost impossible to have a shorter version of this because it's so all-inclusive. You have to have a novel this thick to completely explain all this. But all right, so so from 1939 to 1945, we had World War II. In World War II, in Germany, they had the Stasi police, and they had these scientists that were doing mind control, experimentation. If anybody knows more about that part, let me know. I know that they were doing population control kind of stuff. Not population control, like, well, they were doing a lot of things that had to do with experiments that had to do with society, is what I was trying to say. Okay, so 1945, the war's over, and here in the United States, we had Operation Paperclip, where we recruited, some by gunpoint, 1,600 Nazi scientists to work on government projects. So 1,600 of the Nazi scientists that were working for Hitler got captured and were brought here to the United States and put to work here and put into society. Just like basically given a pass to All right, so Warren's at 45. We get these guys over here. Next thing you know, 1953, we have a thing called MKUltra. You'll just have to do some research on MKUltra. If you're watching my videos, you probably already know what it is. But it is a sometimes lifelong psychological trauma-based mind control that is utilized to separate a person's personality, to give a person multiple personality, MPS, multiple personality syndrome, with the use of triggers. Triggers being voice, color, sound, certain object, something like that, that would switch you literally into another person or make you react in a certain way, have a violent reaction, have a whatever reaction, turn into somebody that is completely different, that you've been conditioned to be, that you don't even realize that you are. That's a really small explanation of MKUltra. There are the Joint Committee hearings online. It's like 150 pages or something like that, 200 pages. It's long. I have it on my computer saved. There's a lot of information on it. They did a lot of messed up stuff on MKUltra. So in 1973, the Church Committee came in and they said, hey, what you guys are doing is really fucked up. You need to stop that. And they closed down MKUltra. So they said. A lot of people don't think it was ever actually shut down. They think that the hearing and everything, the Church Committee, it was just a big act, and MKUltra was never stopped. So it might have been stopped in that capacity. The funding quit going to that, but other agencies or the people that were connected to this found kind of like a roundabout way, created a new agency or created a new project. You just have to come up with new paperwork and new grant information, have a grant writer, or yeah, usually I think they have a grant writer do a lot of that. I don't know. But it changed. I'm sorry, let me get back on track. So it either kept going the same way under a different name, after they filed a new paperwork and got the new unacknowledged special access program label put on it, and called it something else, so we might not know. We do know that in 1956, COINTELPRO started. And COINTELPRO originally was used to combat communism, basically, which I'm alright with that. Hell with communism. They use COINTELPRO on a lot of different people. The Black Panthers, Martin Luther King was under COINTELPRO. That's where, like, Dave Chappelle even talks about it. It's where do you think they got all those sex tapes? Martin Luther King, you know, how do you think you know all the information about every little detail of his life? You know, that COINTELPRO information got leaked out. They get every single part of your life. They know every little detail about you. Every single detail. Like more than you could remember. That's part of the PSYOP that's used in COINTELPRO. That, I guess I'm just talking about it like everybody knows what COINTELPRO is. It's all one word, COINTELPRO. Yeah, it started in 1956, and it was used by the FBI and CIA. I don't know if I'm wrong on that, but I believe it was just the FBI. I don't know. One of the two. I can't keep these guys straight what they do. They're so busy doing a lot of stuff. But COINTELPRO went from 1956 to 1971, so they say. I believe it's still being used, or the tactics from COINTELPRO after it ended were retained. The information, the standard operating procedures were retained by the people that ran the operations, brought it with them to the civilian world, and started up private contracts for the government. And that's where we have some of these security companies involved. I believe they hired some of the deep state kind of people to insert those COINTELPRO tactics into their private security companies. And then they just figure out a way to lobby and get the contract with the government, stating that it's for security. Meanwhile, they have gang stalkers out running around creating incidents, creating bad guys to ensure the growth of their company. There's a lot of this phishing going on out there, trying to grow companies. This is one of them. One group, $270 billion budget. Just one private group. That's one I just found out yesterday, 2 days ago. If you haven't seen that video, look it up. It's if you watch that and then you tell me that, oh, people don't follow people around. Nobody followed you around. You watch that and then tell me that, you can never talk to me again, because you are actually crazy. It is, what is the title to look that up? Just gang stalker recruiting video. I'm sorry, I should have my computer out here to look that up. Have that a little better on hand. All right, so COINTELPRO ended in 71, or so they said. So now the FISA Court, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, that started in 1978. I thought that was more current. It's still in operation, and as far as I know, 10 of the 11 judges were appointed by Obama. So imagine if you were a president that did not make decisions with integrity, and you had this FISA court, and you had a bunch of people that were calling bullshit on you, like I was. And I wasn't even the most educated on it. I just kind of knew something was up, and I was saying some stuff about it. I was more talking about 9/11 or whatever. Anyway, say you had, or your party, say the Democratic National Convention, DNC, or whatever they're, yeah, the DNC. Say they have a lot of vocal people, journalists, kind of celebrity types, just people that are seen, people that are heard, speaking out about what they're doing. And they had this FISA court, and they knew that they could somehow, to make it pretty easy to get any of these people on the list. You know, make the criteria pretty vague to go through the FISA court. Make it only, you know, small amount of evidence that they need to put somebody on these lists. Make it only 2 people that need to report the person. You know, it's really easy, a lot easier, I think, than a lot of government bureaucracy. So imagine if they could use that court as a weapon. And just get all these people through all of the social media algorithms, all of the data mining. Well, that's what they use the algorithms for. Just to get all of the information, getting all the information, finding the people that are pinging the most about them, the people that are showing up in red dots. Oh, this person, look, show right here. They're a pain in the ass. Put them on the list. Oh, this person's a pain in the ass. Put them on the list. This person, I don't know, we just keep make money on this anyway, so it doesn't matter if this person's a pain in the ass. Just put them on the list. You know, so they can target specific individuals based on their posts, based on their personal information, where they shop, who they talk to, a lot of different things. They can make decisions about that person and alter that person's life with some of these programs. So, put people through the FISA court, put them on the section 702, or 704, 705, 12333. There's a bunch of different sections that they investigate people under, put them under one of those, and then this person that's on the list goes out to these, probably gets assigned to one of these companies. Okay, you're responsible for this person, go. And then the private contractor goes after that person and surveils them. But what they're doing is more than surveilling. It's torture and harassment. All right. So you have that FISA court. 10 judges that Obama appointed. Got a lot of people being targeted. Got a lot of money missing from the Federal Reserve. Got a lot of private security companies with hundreds of billions of dollars of budgets for things like this, and with hundreds of thousands of employees. I'm just reading my notes here. So, deep state abuses FISA funding to operate similar surveillance and takedown programs. Yeah. So, the U.S. government, the deep state, like the agencies like the FBI, CIA, DHS, FEMA, etc., are using our tax money, your tax money, to make political decisions about whose lives they're going to ruin based on your personal opinions, your social media, your interactions with other people, your political views. They're going to use that tax money to go after you and literally make your life a living hell based on your personal views. How did this get like this? Anyway, I wrote down here, government agencies like the FBI, CIA, DHS, FEMA, etc. create and manage targeting programs. Okay, yeah, so this is where it kind of not starts, but this is where it gets into, or it's not history, this is what's going on. Okay, so deep state abuse, FISA to operate similar surveillance and takedown programs. So right now they are funding, the U.S. government is funding these different agencies. These agencies are coming up with these programs that all of us targeted individuals are complaining about, and then they take these programs to private companies and ask them to install the program, or maybe what they might do is they might shop around to these different security companies that already have these programs installed, and then they just pick it. I'm not sure, but the agencies contract out to these private companies, like The Collective, like SIS Security, like Securitas Security, to constantly surveil people. And it's become, they're like farming people to go into this program, like, you know, oh, that guy didn't use his blinker, let's put him on the list. And then pretty soon everyone is just, it just turns inward, and everybody is surveilling each other, and it's going back and forth, and everybody's getting in arguments, and car accidents, and all kinds of nonsense. It's already happening. Yeah, like I said, so okay, I talked about who some of the companies are. Yeah, they employ hundreds of thousands of people. When I looked up Securitas, when I called their legal department. I talked to one of their attorneys, and explained to him what happened and what I expected them to do. And, you know, of course, he talked his way out of it, and I would have to spend $20,000 on an attorney to get back the $2,500 I lost out on that they cost me. But when I was looking them up, they had 300,000 employees around the United States. I mean, around the world. That's one company. One company, 300,000 employees. So now that you know that information, that there are, the United States brought Nazi scientists here who installed some of their military tactics on the public, and some of those are still being carried out. MKULTRA, COINTELPRO. FISA Court's being used as a weapon. And then the steps of how, okay. I'm sorry, that video is me talking to this piece of paper half the time. But I'm just trying to work some of this out. I need to write this out so it doesn't take 2 hours to read, and it is complete. As complete as it can possibly get, to explain how this started, where it came from, where it's being funded, who it's being funded by, who's implementing it, who the victims are. I know that. Well, I don't know how they choose the victims, but some criteria, some criteria I do. But not how they pick all of them. There's such a wide range of people. So I'll have on my notes. Remember, it's really early. If I was kind of all over the place there. Gotta get started working, get people to school, stuff like that. Please comment and let me know what else I should add in there. I wanted to say hi to all of you also. I should have said that at the beginning. Well, if you're still watching, you're a diehard, not fan, but yeah, can't form sentences this morning very well, as you can tell. I need to get back to it, but I appreciate everybody watching these videos. Sorry to all of you that are still going through this. I know I'm still being monitored. I haven't been stalked in traffic or at the store or anything lately. That's been really nice. I hope that any of you that are going through the gang stalking right now, that it can end for you too. I don't know if it's ended for me, but I've at least had a break for a little while. So I just want to put that out there to some of you that are going through it right now. If you think it'll never ever end, you might at least get a break. I can't say it'll end forever because I don't know, but I've had a break from that. I've had some other stuff going on, like this whole cognitive thing. I've had such a tough time paying attention lately, and forming my sentences. You know, it's like, use your words, man. But I can't seem to get it sometimes. So I'm doing the best I can. Like I said, I appreciate everybody that's watching the videos, commenting. There's getting to be so many comments that I can't respond to all of them. I want to. I read most of them. Yeah, I read all the comments. I might not make it all the way through one of them. If it's like a few paragraphs long, this person, Return of Zeus, comments on my videos a lot and seems to have more information about the history of this whole thing and the families involved, way deep. But sometimes they're so long that I just have I gotta go to the, I got an appointment. This take 40 minutes to read, but I try to go back and read all those. Anyway, yeah, read those comments from that guy. Return of Zeus. It's like a avatar, blue avatar of like space, stars, galaxy kind of thing. And then the comment, if you just look for the comment that's like this long, about that long, that's it. Alright, everybody, have a good day. Ask me some questions about this stuff. Give me some information I don't know. There's more and more information coming out, and things are looking a little bit better. Hope y'all have a great day.